Hello and welcome to the Build With Baer Workshop. My name is Pat Baer. I'm here to build a model kit and to hang out with you. And I am throwing the Bear Cave, the Lego, the site, the moat in the chat. If you're currently a subscriber, you can throw the Bear Cave, the Lego. If you're a tier 2, you can throw the site, the moat into chat. No moat specifically for tier 3 because nobody's at tier 3 and that's fine. K Jedi just subscribed tier 1. That's 4 months. Thank you so much. Bobby Dice Roller is here. So we say hi to Bobby. Julie is here. Lashbrook is here. Harold is here, and Harold is hosting. Thank you so much for the host, Harold. I appreciate that very much. Very, very kind of you, my friend. But yeah, welcome everybody to the Build With Baer Workshop. Back into the building, we're doing it. We got the Marchosia model kit right here. This is Marchosia. It's a lavender friend. Very rare that we build a lavender friend. And you're thinking, well, Pat, not too long ago, you built a lavender friend that looks a lot like this kit, and it's from the same mobile game. It's just this is pre-Calamity War, and that kit was post-Calamity War. And so we built the newer one first, and then we're going to the older one. But the older one has cool extra swords and extra arms for those swords. And that's just fun. We like that around here. Also, it's got this, like, claw arm attachment that I really enjoy. It's just got a claw arm. I think that's neat. Reassembled after our time in the kitchen for the second ever. Oh, Aristofan just subscribed to Tier 2, 30 months. Currently on a 30-month string. That's like 2.5 years. Where's the time gone? I don't know, Aristofan, but we're hitting the applause for you. Throwing the Bear Cave Lego on the site the most. Thank you for renewing your subscription. Thank you for being a Tier 2, and thank you for subscribing for so many months. Appreciate it very much. Lashbrook. I said the Lashbrook is here. Lashbrook is here. We got a stellar crew here. We're going to get into building. This is the intro portion. I posted a photo on my Twitter of this over here, which is my little display wall, because that is normally, that shelving unit is like kitty corner, perpendicular, but I pulled it out to add some background, so it wasn't just this like off-white wall behind me, and it's a nice little place to put some model kits. I don't know. But I posted a photo of that because I realized I hadn't yet. And you know, you got to put content out on there, right? I got to put posts out there. I mean, I'm not charging for these posts, but they're all part of the business. And look, I'm not here to figure out if I'm going to. I don't think I'm going to be a super poster on Twitter. I don't think I need any super follows there. But I am going to do something similar, kind of. Aristofan says, I saw that photo, and I did what I always do when someone shows a photo of a bookshelf. Zoom in and read the titles. Yeah, I mean, look, none of those books are my books, so feel free to judge my parents on what they read and what they've chosen to keep. I believe there's a big old Steinbeck in there for you to peruse. But yeah, they're not my books. And I don't know what I've read on that shelf because I haven't investigated what's in there. But yeah, I mean, my mom rents stuff from the library on the Kindle these days. They do a lot of rentals of books on the Kindle because she's got a Kindle Fire, and so she gave her old Kindle to my dad, so they both have Kindles. Works out pretty good. What was I going to say? I was going to say something. Oh yeah, no judgment, only curiosity. I appreciate that, first fan, and I like that philosophy. All right, I'm going to retweet my tweet, let the people know we're going, we're doing this thing, getting the word out. It's time to build a model kit, and we'll pick up where we left off. And I'm going to talk about this thing that I applied for. All right, so we've got our head, which had a lot of stickers. That was really frustrating. We had our chest here, only one sticker. We have our arms and our shoulders. We got our other shoulder done. We're going to work on the other arm. And then we're going to move down and start the feet and work our way up. That's right. That's where we're going. This kit takes marker so well. It looks so rad with panel lining. Very happy about that. But yeah, let's continue on here and put this together. And I'll talk to you about the fact that I have applied for the ability to have memberships on my YouTube channel. Now, my channel is monetized. It's existed long enough. It's had enough views. I have made under $200 on that channel in the many years that I have been able to monetize it, which is good, but not great. I am close to getting another payout. Actually, no. My first payout was 120 something. And I'm close to 100 again because the payout is when you get $100. Hey, Lord Crashington, welcome. So I have made on YouTube through Google AdSense on my YouTube channel, over $200 uh, through ad revenue. But ad revenue is nothing, and especially last year, it all went to hell. Um, and not being able to do big PAX panels with big names that people Google and YouTube and look for on YouTube has meant that my numbers have dropped pretty consistently. So a thing I can do is offer memberships. Now really, honestly, having a membership on YouTube for me, very few people would do it. Right? This isn't going to be a big thing. What can I offer? Well, what I'm offering is if it gets approved, because I'm still waiting to be approved for this. But if I get approved, the idea is just like people that give me $5 and get videos early. Well, instead of every video I make on my Patreon, they get that early. This will just be the weekly Wednesday thing. They get a day early. So if people really want to see what I react to a day early, because I always have that done early enough, they could do that. And that's like obviously a very small thing, and it's not going to like change lives or anything. But I'm going to be setting. Look, here's the thing. I applied for $2. They get the Bear Cave emote as a badge next to their name. And the idea is that for like $2 a month, they get 4 to 5 videos a day early. I'm like, okay, I think that's something. It's another option for people that want to support me. Another way for people to do it. If they're already paying for memberships on YouTube, this is a thing they can do. I don't know if I'm going to get approved. I have no idea. I don't, maybe I will, maybe I won't. I can't tell you for certain if that's going to happen or not. But it may be another ad revenue, especially with Patreon being just consistently bad at working out for people at my scale, just consistently being bad at that. Having other options would be nice. So we'll see. We'll see what happens with that. But I put it in because I was like, I have made small, meager attempts to blow out my YouTube to like kind of further reach. The big thing was the VOD channel, Pat Bear VODs, which was taking the VODs here, my long VODs, and putting it there, with the exception of Pat Bear's Anime Club. When I do that live, everything else will go, basically has a new home, because having 10, 15-minute videos and then having 2-hour videos really doesn't help anything. It doesn't. The algorithms do not enjoy that thing. Every once in a while, having a long video is fine, but consistently having a long video or consistently uploading long videos with low view counts. And I should stress that when I do a long Pat Bear's Anime Club, it gets views, but my VODs don't get views on YouTube, or they don't get consistent, good numbered views. So that adds up, or actually becomes a negative. So these are small things that I'm like trying to be more aware of as I continue on. Because honestly, it's the thing of like, right, making money is great. Being able to support myself is great. Being able to rely less on freelance gigs that don't pay on time because nobody cares, that would be rad. I would love that. It'd be so nice to be able to do that. But honestly, it's just I'd like more people to see the stuff I make on YouTube. I would like more people to be able to check out what I'm working on. And that is a way to get more eyes on what I do, is by trying to work with the algorithms. 'Cause there's certain things I won't do. Like I'm not chasing custom thumbnails. I'm not going to. I'm putting tags in, but I'm not following trends of like what what your thumbnails, what's the bet, like, you won't see a thumbnail. The only time you'll see a thumbnail with me, like, doing, like, a reaction of, like, oh, is if that happened in the video and it happened to be the thumbnail. Like, I don't care about that stuff. Like, that's not a thing I'm going to be chasing. I'm not chasing that. But I would like more people to be able to see the work I'm doing and seeing that. I think that's not a ridiculous thing to say. That I would like more people to see what I'm doing out there and check out the work I'm doing because I'm proud of it. Uh, I am genuinely proud of the videos that I make and the what I put out there on the internet, and I would like more people to be able to check it out. And if that means that I can, you know, make a little bit of money that way, we'll make a little money that way. That sounds pretty good. Um, Thank you to everybody that hung out with me last night during Prepare with Baer. The archive is up on my YouTube, Pat Baer VODs, which I have a command for, I believe. So let me just do that real quick. Let me find that command here. I gotta hit this with some color. But let me go and find my commands, add commands, custom VODs. Yeah, it's just VODs. I couldn't remember what it was. There we go. I have, yes, here's the command for my VODs channel. If you want to see the archives of everything that I work on stream, that's where you go for that. Okay, so we're going to just hit this with some color there. But yeah, I had a great time last night. Thanks for everybody that tuned in. I hope you enjoyed it. I certainly enjoyed doing it. I have a lot of fun doing that. This will be the last one for the foreseeable future. I have no plans to do another one anytime soon, both because I am probably, at the moment, kind of out of ideas of what I would do for another one. But also it's like a lot of prep work ahead of time. It's not annoying to get all the things together and prep it, but it certainly does take some time. And most importantly, my folks will be back in the beginning of March, and I don't want to do it while they're around because it really does like take over. It takes over the kitchen, and it's just the whole thing. So I am thinking about other kinds of Wednesday streams to do that are not just like, well, once this anime season or twice an anime season, I'll do a live uh, uh, of Pat Baer's Anime Club, and we'll play Hearthstone, and I'll play like Jackbox and play, whatever else is coming out. Like, oh, well, we'll do this Pokemon randomizer thing or whatever. I am thinking of other things to do because I know that spicing things up and not just spicing things up for y'all, but also for myself is good. And then also like trying to spread my wings a little bit, take some risks. I would like to do more of that. If there are things you'd like to see me do, try, within the realm of things that are not model kit building, always feel free to make recommendations of that stuff. Not saying I will definitely do them, but you can always put those suggestions out there, put those things out there. If there's a thing you're into right now, you're like, Pat, you might like this, I don't know. Feel free to suggest. We got to put the other claw on here. Get our cool claw. And we'll put some black on that to kind of make it pop a little bit. Won't pop too much, but we'll do that. But yeah, I'll tell you what though, that meatloaf tasted fucking great. Had it for dinner tonight. That was some good meatloaf. Did it with a baked potato and some corn. That was good. That was good. I'll either have it for lunch tomorrow or dinner, and then I'll take a day off from it, and then I'll go back to it. But yeah, I got enough meatloaf for a little while. I didn't freeze any of it because I figured I would either do it for lunch, dinner a couple times, and it'll keep in the fridge for a while because I put it in a good container. But yeah, that meatloaf turned out great. Peanut butter balls or peanut butter bites. Those are real good too. I enjoyed those. I think those turned out great as well. So overall, I am pleased with myself for accomplishing something. At the very least, I feel like the beginning of that stream, I at least imparted some wisdom about cutting, like dicing onions and stuff. Like I gave a couple tips I felt all right about. Did they not stick together in the fridge? No, Lashbrook. The graham cracker did its job and kept the peanut butter bites from all sticking together. I probably went harder than I needed to on the graham cracker, but it does keep a nice little thing from it. Means the peanut butter doesn't stick to each other. So yeah, the balls or bites or whatever ended up turning out just great. Yeah, very tasty. If I don't keep them in the fridge, I'm sure that they will melt a little bit and start sticking together. But since they're in the fridge, they're fine. But I've only been eating a couple at a time because I don't want to eat too many of them. Also because there are, I don't really have that much of a sweet tooth, so I can make those last for a while, just covered with a plastic wrap on top of that. I can make that last for quite a bit. All right, so let's get the hand on here. We're almost done with the top half of our kit. We just got to get an arm on here and then put some. We got to put one sticker on here, and then we'll be done. But yeah, that turned out great, and that meatloaf is very good. Yeah, had a baked potato, corn, real good tonight. I think tomorrow I'm just going to make a meatloaf sandwich. Probably heat it up. Maybe it'd be cold. I don't know. I haven't decided yet. It's lunch tomorrow, so I got time to figure it out. Everybody, don't rush me. I'll figure it out. Chill out, everybody, okay? Just be cool about it. Jesus. The fuck? Let's see. Other things. Oh, small little thing. Doesn't really matter. Small little thing. When I talk about anime in the second hour, stuff I'm watching, I will not be talking about this week's episode of Heaven's Design Team because I was going to watch it tonight, and then I saw that a clip of it on the Crunchyroll Collections YouTube, or the regular Crunchyroll, I can't remember which one it was on, but they had a clip of it, and it was two characters battle rapping against each other. And so I was like, you know what I'm not going to do? I'm not going to watch Heaven Design Team tonight because I just don't have it in me. Because if there's one thing I very much dislike about anime is when two characters who are not rappers start rapping against each other, especially in an educational environment such as Heaven's Design Team, which is somewhat educational. It is pseudo. It's edutainment, certainly. But I just didn't want to watch those two characters rap against rap battle. Like, I don't care if the guy who designed the snake and likes elegant designs wants to rap battle the guy who just makes animals that he thinks would taste good. I just didn't want to see it, so I didn't. I did not watch that episode because yeah, I don't want to watch that. Hey, am I saying that voice actors are unable to rap battle? I'm not saying that. Am I saying that writers can't write rhymes to then have voice actors say those rhymes? I'm not saying that. Do I think it is handled almost exclusively, incredibly poorly in every way, shape, and form? I am 100% saying that. When I heard that the characters that rapped in Saga, Zombie Idol Saga, had never rapped before, and in fact didn't know that was something they were going to have to do in the show, I was not surprised because it's not good. And that one is one of the better ones because at least every voice actress in Zombieland Saga knew that they would be in an idol group so they can at least sing. But oh boy, that's a bad time. It's generally just a bad scene, and I want no part of it. So I didn't watch that episode. I'll watch it at some point, but I was just like, you know what? I like myself, and I don't want to see this. That to me is a very important thing. Like, I don't have that in. Like, I'm not saying that I don't watch things that other people would consider bad. I'm saying I don't watch things that I consider bad. You know what I mean? There's a difference. Like, I'm never going to see the Nicolas Cage Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff. The Five Nights at Freddy's ripoff that happens to have Nicolas Cage in it. There's just no way I'm going to ever see that. I just know that about myself that I don't want to. And like I said, there are things that I watch that other people would be like, well, Pat, you watch this terrible thing. Why won't you watch this terrible thing? And the difference is, I don't think the thing that is being said is terrible is terrible. I watch things because I like them. This arm does not seem to want to go in right here, so we'll get in there. And maybe it's a subtle difference. Maybe it's a bullshit difference. And I'm just, I'm just not living in a reality. But to me, there is a difference. I'm not here to tell people what they can and can't like. I'm not here to tell people that I'm right and they're wrong. But I am here to say that it makes my life a lot easier if I just decide that, like, okay, well, this thing is definitely terrible and there's no point in me watching it. I almost never consume things just because they are bad. I consume things, and sometimes they aren't great, and I maybe regret it. Like, I did watch several episodes of that very bad anime, X-Arm, and it's very bad. But the reason I was watching it is because it's incredibly bad. Like, it's worth studying how bad it is, and I still recommend people watch the first and maybe even the second episode of that, because I think you can learn a lot from how all of the mistakes that are made in that production, because it's a failure of many. This is not a visionary trying something that inevitably fails. This is X-Arm is a product of a fine enough manga handled by someone who's never directed anime and doesn't seem to understand the medium whatsoever, and a studio that has never worked on an anime. They have worked support for video game companies, but they've never done that. And it's a fundamental misunderstanding of the medium in so many ways that it's like impressively awful. And then it just becomes rote and boring. But like all of the ways that they fucked up is kind of incredible. And you're like, oh yeah, you make action movies. So and the thing that's incredible is because it is motion capture put onto 3D models, and then that's it. The action doesn't even look good because there's no way it could, because the studio doing it has no business doing it. They have no ability to pull it off. It's remarkably terrible. The music is generic. It's another person who's never worked on an anime before is the musical director, who is a like part-time DJ that knows the director from other things, which is like fine, but also yeah, it's just like when a bunch of people who a person I really respect put it out there that one of the things he doesn't like about modern anime is that it's made by people that love anime. It was originally an artistic medium by people who needed a way to express themselves, and they did it through the work of anime. But now, because it is generations old, it is now a lot of the people making it are people that grew up loving anime, and and so it doesn't have anywhere to go or grow. And I will agree with that. I will agree with that philosophy, that belief. But the other hand is, if you don't know the medium you're working in, you need a translator to translate the medium or to translate your ideas to the medium that you are working in. Because the alternative is that you are trying to reinvent the wheel when there are already cars on the road. So like you can make a new car, you can work you can build off a car, but if you don't know what cars exist, you have no foundation in the automotive industry. I don't know how you're going to make the best car in the world. the why modern wrestling is bad argument. Yes. Uh, yes, because the modern wrestler is a fan of wrestling. Are they are the nerds who grew up loving wrestling and became wrestlers. Uh, Therefore, it's whereas every wrestler that they loved, a very small percentage of them grew up loving wrestling. Most of them are washed up football players looking to make money uh, and get out, and then he's just stuck around. Uh, Even if some of the best wrestlers of all time are people that went to see wrestling once and were like, oh, this is my life now. We seem to forget about those wrestlers. Or just dudes that happen to be around. Yes, Lord Crashington. Dudes that were happen to be around that had some sort of size to them and were handed a mask and were like, get in there. And you're like, what? What does that mean? And now it's people that like want to do it. They want to do it their whole lives. Uh, but I don't fully disagree with the idea that there are a lot of people that when a medium gets big enough, it ends up being full of people that like grew up with the medium and like are fans of the medium and then therefore sometimes probably care too much about it and aren't willing to, like, they understand how it's supposed to work and they're not willing to change. But I can get that. I can see that. Yeah, I mean, yeah. I mean, Lord Crash, that is a preconceived notion. That is the idea that that is the old school mentality that a big man will draw money, that large people equals dollar signs. And in the old territory days, that's true. You didn't have to work good if you were huge, because if you looked scary, then you might theoretically hurt, the babyface wrestler that everybody loves. So people will come in to see. It's an old idea that panned out, for a little while. Mr. Bob, subscribe tier 1. That's 42 months. Thank you so much, Mr. Bob. I'm going to hit the applause. Let's throw the Bear Cave and Lego and recite the moat in the chat and say thank you to Mr. Bob for that. Always lovely to see that there. Thank you so much, Mr. Bob, for subscribing. Appreciate you, my friend. I'm hitting this with a brown marker. We don't have a lot of red in this kit, but where we do have red, we do want to hit that with that. But those old days are the territory days. So that's long dead now. And the reason why the territory days you could just be a big person, move around and be a draw is because you were only going to be there for a couple months and then you were going to go to the next territory. And you might loop back around again with a slightly different gimmick, especially if you have a new champion that you haven't worked with before. But now everybody's on TV and you got to be like more than that. I was a little bummed Cornette or whoever didn't get mad about Evil Uno doing a top 10 list on Giant Bomb again. Yeah, look, here's the thing. I live a very privileged life in many ways, and one of my privileges is I don't give a shit what Jim Cornette thinks about anyone or anything. I just don't get to care that man, because that man is now making a living on being mad at things, and I do not have to deal with him and his old man, yelling at clouds shit, and it's great. And I understand that it's fun sometimes to be like, ha, old man, but I don't care. It is freeing and wonderful to not give a shit about old man opinions. Oh, it's so nice. So nice. I recommend it. If you can just be like, okay, all right. Yeah, shut the fuck up and just move on about your life. It's pretty incredible. All right, we're working on our feet here, so we got to get these together. We're going to need more red. Will we do panel lining on the feet, which we'll never see? Of course we will. We still want to get practice at it. Still want to get better at doing this. So, still going to do it. Who knows? Maybe I'll pose this kit. I'll be kicking its feet. I won't be doing that. But maybe I will. So we'll get this together. We're not gonna do all of this yet. We'll build the foot, this section of the foot, and then we'll put some panel lining on it. But we'll get a lot of it together because I think that's fine. I don't have to do each individual piece. All right. So I need B. Oh, I'm gonna have to put some connectors in there, but I'll need B317 and B217. Okay. B217 is this piece. Great. But yeah, we'll just do markers once this section's all together because it's just a foot. This time last year was PAX East, and that feels bad because that was the last convention I went to, 2010. So the idea that that would be this weekend is a real shame. To think about how I didn't go to any conventions since then. It's been a year. I mean, other than PAX Online, which was fun, but not the same thing. Real weird. Real weird to think about. I am definitely missing, my friends and traveling and seeing people and doing panels and going to panels and like I had a good time last year at the convention. It was a good time. I got to do some stuff. Got to see people. I keep seeing conventions tentatively announce dates this year, and I don't get it. Seems kind of like a bad idea still. Had that last month with PAX South since last month. Yeah, and I didn't go. PAX South was something I was trying to go to. I've been trying to go back, and this last year it wasn't going to work because PAX East was in February and was so early that there was no way that I was going to do both. But I've wanted to do one. Right there with you. This weekend is going to be a bummer, especially with my birthday on Sunday. Yeah, I hear you, Harold. So Bobby, people that work who work the staff for these things have to work on something or they're going to get laid off. Nobody's doing a convention this year. There's not going to be a PAX East this year. They know that. They know it's not going to be one. They're like, hey, what if there was one in August? There isn't. They know that. They know there isn't. But it has been a year of them not planning a convention. This is so many companies that they have to be like, well, in this part of the country, we're thinking we might because there has been one in December. Dallas, not Dallas, outside Dallas did a small convention. And they're going to be conventions. It's a terrible idea. They won't be big international ones. You won't see a PAX, but you'll see people doing local cons. They'll be like, oh, we're doing a socially distanced local con where you can watch all of them on, that'll be streamed, but we'll also be doing, a live event. And they'll get a certain number of people that just don't care. And they'll get names of people who are desperate and just, broke. People that relied on conventions to help pay their rent and pay their bills. That will be like, it's worth the risk. I'm going to go, which is awful. Yeah, again, I know that, but it makes me a little bummed about getting people's hopes up. So that's the thing. I hope that people aren't getting their hopes up because they should recognize that this is just people trying to pretend like they're doing something. They're just pretending like that's a possibility. And I know people are going to look forward to it, but I hope that people look at it and go, oh, don't do that. Because that's what I hope. That people are like, don't. Yeah, but don't. I'm not going to go to conventions are the last thing we need right now. Yeah, but also there are a lot of people who this is their job, and so they at the very least need to pretend like there's going to be a convention they go to this year, because they are lucky to have not been laid off yet. Because you don't need all of the people you have to do online conventions. And the weird thing is, I'm not seeing a lot of that. I'm seeing a lot of people being like, because I think they're going to pivot to online conventions. That's my guess right now, is that they're going to pivot, but they're going to start by saying that, hey, maybe we're going to do this, and they'll pivot to it. But I've been looking because I'm trying to apply to some online conventions because it's all part of the dance. Getting my name out there. Part of that is doing them, and there are just few and far between. So I don't know. I think a lot of people are just like, well, they're kind of thinking like, well, maybe Biden's gonna magically make a lot more uh, vaccines appear, and there are more than we thought there were going to be, but it's just such a slow rollout, and especially since not that the demographics that are getting it are not the goes to a comic convention or a video game convention, really, at this point. So I don't know. I would like to say that people are going to be able to get what they need and be able to go and travel. But yeah, I don't see it. But I'm hoping more people start promoting online conventions. And like I said, I think I'm going to try to apply to more of them. Try to bring Pat Bear's Anime Club to a few more. That's like the main one that I would like to do because that one I have I have video of that working. Like I did PAX Online with Pat Bear's Anime Club and it worked. So that is a nice thing to be able to say like, hey, well, here is I did this panel. I did Pat Bear's Anime Club here, recorded in advance. I know how to do it. I can do it again. I can do it better than I did there. Let me know if that's something that you'd like to do. So we'll see. We'll see if that is a possibility. I hope it is because that would be great. Um, but that is the panel that I would try to bring places. We'll see. I still, I just miss it. I miss seeing people. I miss I miss performing in front of large crowds. It was rad. I've done some online TTRPG cons, and it's been decent. Yeah, I mean, like, I've gone to a few. I've had stuff on. A lot of it is kind of like, to me, a lot of it has been kind of just like on while I do other things, but I've checked in. Other things I liked was that Funimation did a convention because they were like, um, well, we don't have the infrastructure to do our own con, but we can do an online one. And of course, now that the merger is most likely going to go through, of Sony buying Evolution, which means, excuse me, that they're buying Crunchyroll. The infrastructure will be there. But yeah, I mean them saying like, oh yeah, well now I guess we can do a con. They were just like, yeah, we can do a digital con. It's kind of neat that they got to do that. Mr. Rob says I regret missing East now. Yeah, I mean like there was no way I could do both, but I did regret that I didn't get to go to PAX South because I would like to go back to that, and it would have been nice to go and do two cons last year. But unfortunately, that is the situation we found ourselves. I remember it took forever for a few cons to cancel. I mean, Emerald City Comic Con didn't cancel till like the week before, and I feel like they canceled more. Seattle was like, "Don't do this," but I think they canceled more because a lot of the people that were supposed to be doing it were like, "I'm not coming anymore." Like people are getting sick, and Seattle is a vector for a lot of this early stuff, so I'm out. And then they were like, oh, I guess, yeah, no, we're not going to do it. But, oh boy, did Emerald City Comic Con not want to do it. I saw that Sony's offering up a 90-day sub to Funimation for free for their new Play at Home initiative, so I'll have to check that out. Yeah, Lord Crashington, check it out. I mean, there's some Funimation has some good stuff, especially if your thing is dubs, which, sure, I mean, that's where you're going to get a lot of great dubs. Crunchyroll does way more dubs than they used to. They used to offer. I think what happened was when they started sharing their back catalog with Funimation during the brief period that happened before Sony bought Funimation. A thing that they were doing was the shared library. The thing they found was, oh wow, way more people watch dubs on our site than we thought would. So they started doing some of their own, also so they could do some of that home video money. Yeah, I mean, there's a lot of good stuff. There's some good exclusives, and because of the way international rights work, there's some stuff that doesn't show up on Hulu, which it used to be like anything you wanted to see on Funimation, you could just watch on Hulu, and that changed, and it became there became a lot of stuff that was because it was on Animalabs or something else, ended up not being on Hulu, and so you needed a Funimation account. But yeah, there's some good stuff on there, so feel free to check that out. You might find something you're into. All right, and then we just got to put a little black here on this, and we will be ready to build a leg for this foot. Got to build a leg. We got the foot done, though. We'll move on to that. Speaking of Sony, I watched the state of play. Just kind of like, you know. There's a couple things that are also coming out to PC that looked interesting. You know, nothing really stood out to me, but I'm also like, I don't have a PlayStation. It's mostly just like, I don't know, what are games coming out? It's good to know that friends of mine will be again obsessed with Final Fantasy VII Remake because there'll be more of it. So that's just a good heads up that I'm like, oh yeah, all right, that more of that's coming. Cool. Good to know. See some more live streams and such of my friends who really like playing that game. And I was just like, all right, that's just a good heads up. Like I expected it, but yeah, all right, cool. More buzz. Yeah, I haven't really there are a couple things that look kind of neat, and I'll probably enjoy watching people stream it. But it wasn't anything super. It was a half an hour, it wasn't like a lot. I am kind of interested in that. Excited for the new game from the Absolver devs, which will be a Jason game. Yes, that'll be a Jason Ostriker, Jason Ostriker game. I'm that game where it's a loop and you're trying to break the loop, and it's like a first-person action, but also some sort of like deeper story and like weird. I don't know what's going on with that, but it does seem pretty fucking cool. That's a game that I will enjoy watching someone play, I assume. I will enjoy that. The other big news today is a very Bond-style theme song for it. Yes. The other news today is that there is an Animal Crossing Sanrio collab where you can go and buy amiibo cards, and they will have some Sanrio like costumes and stuff. Unfortunately, it does not include anything related to Bats Maru, so I am less interested than I was when I saw the announcement, because I was like, well, where is my Bat friend? No Bats Maru, no deal. I mean, it's going to be fine. It went fast enough I didn't even realize they had shown 10 games. Yeah, I mean, some of it, they weren't showing a lot, right? It was just like, hey, we have this thing. Check this out. Tease. And you're like, okay, cool. But yeah, I mean, come on. Where's my Bats Maru? That's what I want to say. If you got a collab and you got Hello Kitty shit, you're going to just get Bats Maru. What are we doing here? What are we doing here? Anyway, that does seem kind of cute and fun, and that's neat. And those are collabs that, move the needle for some people, and maybe get a little write up in something. And for fans of both, it's rad. And for people that it's like, oh yeah, I don't mind Sanrio, cool. It generally just means that there's going to be Animal Crossing updates. So that is great for a lot of people to just have the thing that they like. More of the thing they like. Crazy. Let's see, what was I going to say? I think I got my setup back together pretty good. I think everything's together right. Okay, no, we're working on the right leg here, so I don't have to do two pieces at a time. We'll just get all this together here. But yeah, it's not the hardest thing to set up to do everything again. It's just getting everything lined up kind of right. It takes a little bit of effort, but it's not bad. The nice thing about doing the cooking stream, the second cooking stream, was I understood where things need to go. So I was able to get that together pretty quickly because I did it once. So I was like, oh, actually I don't want to use this. I want to use that. And then I didn't have to set up the other camera because it didn't work the first time. So I didn't do it for the second one. And I was like, oh, this makes my life a lot easier. If I know that going in, then I'm not going to do that. I'm like, okay. This all comes together pretty well. And it did. It came together pretty well. I had a good time last night doing it. So that's that is a nice thing when I can like a thing. Let's see what else I want to say. The weather has been absolutely gorgeous this week. The rain happened very briefly, but it is very inconsistently. I think we're getting some tomorrow, but it should be a light shower, and I kind of don't mind that. But yeah, I've been out and about walking since the weather has been so nice. Didn't even wear my hoodie out today because the sun was shining when I went out. It was nice and hot. That just fucking ruled. It was so nice. I hope everyone's weather is okay and they're doing well, especially if it's not great for you. But yeah, it has been. Today it was in the high 60s, the mid to high 60s, and that is just rad as hell. I'm wearing my hoodie right now because it's a little cool in the evening when the sun goes down, but otherwise, it's been pretty rad temp wise, and I'm very excited about that. Um, uh, oh, uh, so you all know I have this. I've been doing now and again some gigs where I'm doing some customer service stuff. It's all like I have a bunch of freelance small things. This is one that's like easy enough that I can do. I fill in. I'm on the sub list, so I get shifts now and again. Never know when I'm going to get them, but um, I can just accept them, and nobody is mad if I don't accept them. Uh, Eventually, they'll probably get mad, but right now, nobody's mad if I don't accept them. So I just don't accept them if they're when I'm supposed to be streaming. So I'll do morning shifts. I'll do afternoon shifts. I will do evening shifts as long as I can get out by like quarter to nine, pretty much. The late shifts they don't ask anybody to work because they have some outsourced people that do that in other parts of the country or parts of the world, I should say. Um, they have a team, uh, European team basically to handle that stuff, which is cool. Um, but I picked up another gig, folks. I picked up another small gig, and I'm getting trained how to do it on Sunday. My neighbor, who is they are like my parents' like best friends down here. They're in our bubble. My dad and he go get food and hang out. They used to go to the movies back when that was something they could do. Uh, and yeah, they're good buddies. They play bocce together, and then my mom and the wife go and walk just about every day, and they're very friendly, nice people. We went over to their house for Thanksgiving, which was really nice. Just like salt of the earth, great folks. Well, they're going away for a week because they got both of them got their second shots. And they have a couple that they know in Georgia that also got their shots, and they have not seen them in a year. And they were like, well, we're only going to hang out with each other, but let's go hang out. So they're going for a week, and they have fish. And so I'm going to be going every day for a week and feeding those fish, which is a job that my dad would do, but he's still out of town. So I have inherited that job. So I got a little bit of a gig, and it'll get me out of the motherfucking house for days, every day to go and feed some fish. And I am looking forward to it. It is nothing exciting, but to me, the idea of being forced to go and do something every day, pretty okay with that. We'll see how it goes. Uh, I don't think I have to do anything. I have to check to make sure the filters are still working, and I'm going to learn about that, but mostly it's just feeding the fish, maybe tapping on the glass a little bit, keep an eye on things. Uh, Honestly, very much looking forward to it. It's right up my alley of just like a small responsibility, but a daily one. Hell yeah, that's what I'm looking for. Lord Crashington says, I see that Square is making a Battle Royale 7 game for mobile. Yeah, they're doing a bunch of shit. They're like, they're putting out an old game. They're putting out a new game. Like, hey, they're doing all the work to put a mobile game out. Why not put other games out? And if people are really loving the 7 remakes, why not? Why not? Why not do a bunch of other nonsense? Like, sure, have fun, go nuts, go for it. That sounds perfectly cromulent. Sure. Not for me, but I'm sure somebody's going to be like, this is my new favorite game. Or no one will buy it, and it'll disappear off the face of the earth, and it'll just be another weird thing that exists on the internet and in archives, and like somebody will make a bunch of YouTube videos about it, and the people that are really into it will go and watch those. They'll be like, "Oh, well, this is the person who gets it." It's cool. I don't know, but yeah, I'm sure it'll be fine. I guess some people found out the meaning behind Ever Crisis name that got trademarked recently, which is another mobile game. Yup, sure. Like I said, I hope people are like psyched about it and really enjoying it. It is not something that I will give much thought to. But, hey, enjoy. Yeah, I'm excited about my fish feeding job. Uh, it's just something. I mean, honestly, it's just something like help out my neighbors, get out of the house, feel like I'm accomplishing something. If I'm like, oh, well, I fed the fish, so I got out and did it. Hooray, go me. Fed all these fish. I don't know, it'll be fine. But it is, exciting developments in the Pat Bear tries to get a full-time job or a bunch of part-time jobs or just fucking something, Jesus Christ, just something, saga. Now I'm days away from talking at fish. So that's something. Because you better believe I'm going to talk to those fish. It's good for them. Good for you, too. Better believe I'm going to be like, hey, what's up, fish? What are we doing here today? You liking this food? Sounds great. All right, peace out. I'm going to be leaving. Then coming back to my house. They are neighbors, and it is like a very simple walk. It'll mean next to nothing to go visit them. So I was like, sure, I will do this. Happily do this. And yeah, that's about it. As always, not a lot happening for your friend Pat. Trying to make things happen, trying to get some work stuff together. I will link to a podcast that I was on Monday. I mentioned it on Monday, but I'll also link to that when it's time to promote things. That was very fun. I have been asked to be on another podcast in March. I'm excited to do that. And then one that I don't know when I'm going to be on it because they're like, we ask in advance because we require a lot of homework. And some guests don't want to do that. And I was like, okay, just let me know. So being busy, doing stuff, like that sounds great. Like count me in. This podcast I got asked to be on that's probably going to record in March, I'm very excited about because it is very much in my wheelhouse and features cool people. And also is a thing that has a bigger reach of an audience than I do, which is great because if more people can find out what I'm up to based on that, that would be rad. Shout outs to the people that were like, oh yeah, Pat Bear, that happened to like see my top 10 anime list on Giant Bomb and come out. Like, shout outs to y'all. I saw a good tweet about how when we can finally be around other people, we'll get to see the weird social quirks we developed in our own homes. Yeah. I joked yesterday about how I say I can probably do without being around crowds ever again in my life. And then I saw like this cool concert with the singer that did Cruel Angel's Thesis, and it's her in front of like 10,000 people. And I'm like, oh, I want to be there. And it's kind of the thing where I'm like, yeah, like I know that I'm going to feel weird about crowds. I'm going to feel fucking very weird about crowds. I know I'm going to feel weird about them. But also, there is definitely a part of me that's like, I like want to go to cool shit and see cool people at cool things. Like, it's a weird double thing where like sometimes the idea of like an airport freaks me the fuck out, but also I want to do a comedy panel for like 800 people again. Like I really like those are like I'm living with both of those things, and it's just like, yeah, those are both true statements in my head of like I would love to not talk to a lot of people and like run into people and like feel cornered, but also Dang, it would be great to do like a big old show for a lot of people again. Uh, I don't know. In the same way that's like I really like doing these kind of streams. I like having folks like this and doing like kind of fun little numbers here and hanging out. But also like I would love to get back onto a big stream. Like I've made appearances on things that had like a huge audience watching as it happened, and I'm like I also really fucking like that. Wouldn't mind doing that again. Just having like a big old audience watching what I do live. That sounds great too. All right, why can't I get this? All right, so I have to see why these don't want to connect the way I would like them to. All right, that's the leg here. It bends and moves, and that's fine. This has got to go on here. So these two pieces have to snap on here. Like that. Okay. Oops. Oh, flew out of my hands, folks. But yeah, I mean, it's this weird thing where I'm still freaked out by the idea of like large groups and people rubbing up against one another and pushing people out of their way and all the other stuff. And like, you know, the idea of a show floor where somebody is like making a lot of noise into a microphone to throw out free T-shirts and it's like packed with people pressing against one another, pushing their way to the front, trying to like grab at each other. Like the idea of that, I was just like, yikes, fucking yikes. Um, but also, I think about the first ever live episode of Pat Bear's Anime Club, doing that at PAX East last year, and having like a huge amount of people there, like laughing along and cheering, and like when I would like mention a show that they knew, and they were like, "Woo!" and then like someone would say like, "I'm going to recommend this," and the audience would be like, "Boo," because Jacob was kind of trolling, because Jacob Burgess is wonderful, and he was like, "I'm going to recommend Sword Art Online." And I was like, "Come the fuck on, dude! What are you talking about? Please." Um, but yeah, I'm also like thinking about that. I'm like, oh man, that'd still be fucking rad. So not a traditional build we talk about, but I got a bunch of parts for my new weekend project. Now I just need one last piece of a PS2 network adapter. Ooh, you're doing some console modding. That is definitely a thing that I don't think we'll ever see me here on stream do anything that would involve a soldering iron. I just can't see that because that is not something that I hold a lot of personal interest in. Never have. Don't know if I ever will. Uh, like just not a thing that I've ever like found an interest in doing. So like physical mods of a thing is pretty much like yeah, I just don't know. Of course, I've done some stuff that I never thought I would on stream, but yeah, that's probably not something I think I'll ever really do. But that's rad though. Enjoy. I hope it fucking turns out great and you have a great time putting it all together. The part of that is just that it's just never something that I've had a lot of interest in doing. To doing like kind of modding of things. Like I've had modded consoles before, but yeah, I don't know. Yeah, just never been my thing. All right, we'll get a little more gray on here. Jeff mentioned how easy it is to get a PS2 to run off an SD card a couple weeks back, and I decided to go for it. I mean, that is definitely true. Like, you can put replacements, SSDs. You can do that with PS2s, and you can take the optical drive out of a Dreamcast and just make it boot that way. Like, there's certain projects exist and people have done them, and I think some of them are fucking pretty neat. But uh, I do like, I like some of those mods. People do that with old PCs and like, or old Macs, and they just like put in a different thing, and it's just like running off an Arduino, like, and other things, and adapters, SCSI adapters that go to like SD card readers and stuff. And I'm like, that's fun. I like that. I mean, I took an old iMac years ago and converted an old iMac case into like a cat bed area, like like a little cat spot. It just took the guts out, and it's got a handle on it. And you just take some stuff out, you do a little whatever, you put some padding in there, you seal everything together, um, and you got yourself a little cat house. Like I did that. That's an easy mod because a friend of mine had an old iMac, the little color friendly, the ones with weird colors and stuff, and was like, "Do you want? I don't want this. Do you want to do something with it?" And I was like, "Yes." The nice thing is there's no soldering or permanent modifications. That's great, Lashbrook. That sounds rad. If you're not doing permanent mods, that sounds pretty okay. All right, we're done with this leg, so we can put this foot here, and we are gonna take a pause to the cause in a moment. Let me just get this figure out. Oh, I missed a step, folks. I missed a fucking step. I was like, where does this attach to this? There's a piece that I'm missing here. So what I have to do now is, and we'll take a pause to the cause. Good night. Have a good rest of your stream. Well, thank you, Harold. Thanks for hanging out. Thanks for hosting, as always. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Good night, my friend. Okay, so we have to take this piece off, the front piece off, and then stick on 7 so that the foot has something to connect to. And I don't know why I missed that, but I did. But unfortunately, these were annoying to get on and off, so getting this off is actually going to be maybe a little frustrating because these pieces are big and didn't really want to go on, so I am actually a little worried because I might be able to. Yeah, I can't pry that off, so I got to pop these apart. So hopefully when I do the other foot, I won't run into this issue. We will take a pause for the cause in a moment or two, talk about ways you can support the channel, plug some stuff, the usual, and then we'll get back into building. And then I'll also talk about the anime I watched. And again, did not watch this episode of, even though I do like Heaven's Design Team very much, when I found out there would be at least some battle rapping in it, I decided that I did not need to see the episode because it just wasn't going to bring me any joy. I am almost caught up with Black Clover, but still not ready to talk about Black Clover yet, but I will get caught up on that. Related to Room Camp. There's a Mobile Suit game on PS5. It's very Japanese free-to-play game. Okay. Thank you for letting me know, Lord Crashington. I did not know that. One thing, I talked about this last year because I watched it through illicit means, but there is a legal way now to watch the special that came out last year for Laid Back Camp. It is, if you go to Room Camp, which is the little the little mini-series, the 5-minute episodes mini-series that came out last year, the special is at the end of it. And the special is this, like, paid by Yamaha thing that it's Rin hanging out. And, if you're a completionist, you might want to check it out. Battle Operation 2. Okay, there you go. But if you're a Room Camp or Laid Back Camp completionist, then you'll want to watch this because it was good. It was good. But yeah, it's clearly sponsored by Yamaha. Like Rin's moped is getting serviced, and her dad rents her a Yamaha like 3-wheeler, and so it's a lot of like how speedy it is and how great it is. Like basically they talk a lot about how awesome the thing is that she's borrowing, and then there's also like her driving around, and it's still Laid Back Camp, but if you're a completionist, you should check it out. It is very product placement-y. Automod is put in there. I got a bonus GFY shift, which I guess doesn't mean go fuck yourself. No, I guess it doesn't. Yeah, that's on PS4. I played it for a hot second. It's definitely a gotcha. Yeah, I mean, free-to-play gotcha. That sounds about right. This is really hard to take apart, folks, so definitely don't screw up like I did, because you're going to run into it. No, it's okay, Lord Crashington. That's what Automod is for, right? Like, this is the thing that, like, Automod is doing its job, and that's fine. It's just basically just like, hey, what? Is that cool? It's doing what I want to do because I don't have mods, so I do that. Because we're not big enough to require me to ask people to work for free, or we're certainly not big enough We're certainly not big enough for me to be able to afford to reimburse people for their time and accurately pay people for their time to have mods, to have people modding. Uh, so AutoMod is a solution to that problem, which is that I do not have the resources to do that properly. I have nothing to offer folks for that. In a world where, oh, you got a bonus GFY shirt. It's a shirt. Okay. Yeah, no, I assume that is not a go fuck yourself shirt. I'm going to go ahead and assume. All right, so now I got to put these pieces back on. That took forever. It was very annoying. And watch, this just goes on real easy. Who knows? Maybe it won't go back together as easy, but that was really, that was really annoying to get off. Just put on one little tiny piece that I needed to, so I won't fuck up the next time. And now we have a leg done, and we're going to move on to our legs in a bit. Lashbrook, most of the time, mods are not given. They're given, privileges. They are doing it for free, but they are not paying a subscription. So in that sense, having a couple mods who are not, subscribing and being invested in it. Oh, thank you for the follow. I appreciate that very much. But some streamers do pay their mods. Some people do treat it like a job. People that are working a lot of hours, that have a teams, especially folks like, obviously, it wouldn't take a lot to have somebody or a couple people rotate in and out the 4 nights a week that I stream, the 2 hour, 1.5 to 2 hours that I stream 4 nights a week, right? But if I'm streaming 8 hours a day, then it's a shift. Like if I need 2 people there for at least 4 to 5 hours of the 8 hours that I'm going to be doing a stream for, then you either need a lot of mods or you need to incentivize people doing it. And so some streamers do pay, and it's labor. So I would want to pay for that labor, but I am not in a position to do that. Okay, so we are taking a pause to the cause. If you're new to the stream, this is my ad reads. I'm going to talk about ways you can support the channel. You're under no obligation to do any of these things, but if you'd like to, you're more than welcome to. First and foremost, if you, and I'll be putting stuff in the chat, just ways you can support the channel if you'd like. If you're a subscriber, you can throw the Baer Cave, the Lego, the site, the emote in the chat. Let the people know that you are a subscriber, and throw some emotes in there. Being a subscriber is an easy way to support what I do using your Twitch Prime token, or, because you have Amazon Prime like your Twitch, or paying cash money. Gifting subs. You can join the gift sub leaderboard with Bobby Dice Roller and Aristophan and Harold. If you have been gifted a sub, you can convert that to a paid one, and they won't charge you until your subscription free month is over. So you can do that at any time. Bits and coins also always appreciated. You could throw some bits in there. Join the bit leaderboard. That is another way to support what I do. But yeah, feel free to do that if it's something you like. You're not no obligation to do that. I also have a Patreon, and I would say we're almost done with the month. So it's not a great time to join my Patreon. But if you want to join my Patreon, you're more than welcome to. Patreon is an alternative there because there's a $1 tier and a $3 tier and a $5 and a $10. So you can give more or less than you would if you were watching me or than you would here on Twitch. So it's an alternative. I like having that. Theoretically, I will also eventually have YouTube memberships. I'm waiting to be approved for that, but it looks like I will get approved for that. And that's just another thing I'm going to be able to offer, which is weird to say, but it is true. But you can subscribe to my YouTube right now, which is free, and then maybe you can also become a member eventually, but I'll put in that, which I rarely mention. But yeah. Every dollar that I make through Patreon and through Twitch goes into buying model kits because I have to keep buying model kits to build model kits. If you would like to make a one-time donation towards that, any money that I make during streams from PayPal and Streamlabs and coffee goes into me buying kits and then to build. So you can do one-time donation. We just got a new kit in the mail today. I'll talk about it tomorrow online. Oh, thank you for hosting the stream, Zeno. I'm doing my ads reads. We'll get back to building real soon, but thank you very much. Appreciate that. I'm just talking about ways to support the channel. I will have a new thing to talk about tomorrow that someone bought off my Amazon wish list. But if you would like to buy something, it'll jump the queue. So the next thing I'm going to build on stream when this is done was from my wish list. So if you want to also buy something there, it'll just get sent to me in the mail, and then I'll build it. I'll shoot a video about how the thing you bought and talk about it and talk about how cool you are for doing it. You can do it anonymously, or you can leave a note. You got options. I've got all kinds of things. I got nano blocks. I got Lego. I've got model kits that are inexpensive and very expensive and on sale and always never on sale. Things that drop in price and I'll pick it up, or things that like are just not available for Amazon Prime shipping, and I wish it was. I've added a few new things. I always try to add new things to the wish list constantly. And feel free to take a gander and see if there's something there that you'd like to see me build. Not staying, got work tomorrow, I'm going to bed, just happened to notice you were live. Well, thank you, Zeno. Appreciate that very much. Have a good night, and thanks for the host. USA Gundam Store is an alternative to my Amazon wish list. If that was the way you would like to support what I do, you could buy a gift card. It's a little trickier than just buying something on Amazon, in which case you go and you buy a gift card. They send you an email with the code, because you have to have an account on USA Gundam Store, and then you take that code and then you send me a DM on Twitter, and then you can give me that code and I'll buy something. And you can also be like, hey, I saw that they have this. Maybe you should do that on stream. And we could talk about something that, the way I use the money. Because it's nice to have alternatives. For free, a free way to support me is to join my Discord. I got a Discord server. I talk about stuff that I'm building. People post things they're working on. We've got a lot of stuff about like the 30-minute builds. A bunch of photos of that stuff just went up, which was really fun, just to see what people were working on in the community. Let's see. The Personal History of Games podcast is run by my friend Eric, who you may know as the videographer for League of Heels. He made the VHS tape. Eric has a podcast where he interviews people. There is an audio version and a video version. He is playing DDR while we talk about DDR, and I am watching him play it and talking about my history with that and other games that I'm really into, and we got into some stuff. It was a really fun podcast appearance. I was really happy to do it. So check that out. Bear With Me is my weekly reaction series. I react to Maple is a great dog. I have never heard of Maple before I watched this video. I have now watched a lot of Maple videos. Maple rules, and you can see me react in the moment to how great Maple is. It's pretty short. And then Pat Bear's Anime Club. I'll have a new episode coming up on Monday, but this is my last one where it is my introduction to where you should start if you want to try getting into Gundam. And if you want to get into Gunpla, which is a shorter conversation. So I put them together. They could have been 2 videos, but it worked out well to just do one video of that. All right. Check this here. And okay. Great. So now is the part of the stream where I drink a little bit of water, and then we get back into building, and we're going to start working on the other leg of the leg that we worked on. And I'm also going to talk to you about the anime I watched for the past couple of days, because it's cool to talk about that stuff. So we hit that there. I'm going to remember to go back to the overhead, because sometimes I forget to go to the overhead, and that is a bummer. And here we go. I will admit, I just realized I didn't watch Anime Capybara-san. I totally forgot because it comes on at like 7:45 p.m. and I just didn't get around to it. So I apologize, folks. I will watch that episode for Saturday, and I think Heaven's Design Team I'm going to wait another week on. But Anime Capybara-san, I will watch for Saturday. I promise. Sorry about that. I mean, it's a minute-long show. I just completely slipped my mind tonight. I was actually kind of busy with some things. I was working on some stuff before the stream started, shooting some video of things. And so, yeah, I got behind and didn't realize that I hadn't watched it, so I apologize. But anyway, I have 2 shows that I can talk to you about. So the first one is that time I got reincarnated as a slime. Okay, well, what do I want to say about that? So, this is kind of interesting. That time I got reincarnated as a slime, the first season, there's some action and there's some like, oh, that's a shame. Oh, that turned out weird. But for the most part, it's a it's an isekai where like it's like a weird postmodern isekai where it's like, okay, well, instead of being a human or being reborn, as a child and growing up, or just transported with your own body or whatever, what if you were a slime? And what does that mean, and what does that entail? And it's been pretty happy-go-lucky. I mean, there's been some sadness and some darkness, but it's for the most part been pretty straightforward. The shit has hit the fan. Uh, Rimuru did not defeat Hinata, the woman that is sworn to kill him. He ends up tricking her. She basically destroys a clone of his while he hides, which, pretty shitty on her part to not notice that was happening. But yeah. And then not everyone in Tempest is dead, but most people in Tempest are dead, which is fucked. Like things have worked out pretty good for a lot of them, but this is a rough time where a lot of characters are presumed dead. And they basically can't get to the barrier. Some of the clan are alive. They're going to go split off, and then it looks like that some people figured out that what's her name? Mulin is involved in at least one of the two, making at least one of the two barriers happen. And then she does reveal, "Hey, I work for Clayman." And it looks like they're keeping some of the deaths hidden from Rimuru, so he doesn't know that some of the characters, some of our favorite characters, have died. Which, I get protecting it, but like, they should tell him. And I think that things are just going to get darker from here because he's got to deal with this, with a whole country and a religious order that want all of his people dead. And basically a lot of it is, well, some people just are prejudiced against monsters, but also the other thing that's happening is his prosperous country is taking away the trade, ability for another country to make a lot of money via trade. So they're basically like looking for an excuse to take care of them, and then also getting a religious order involved helps them out a lot. And then beyond that, unrelated, is Clayman doing some Clayman shit for unknown reasons, fucking with him. So yeah, it is. Things are not going great. Also, Hinata was probably manipulated into attacking him, and we're not sure who did that, but we don't know for sure if it was the church or not. So we'll see. And then there are those humans that were giving people a lot of problems. The isekai teens who are all assholes. That's a bad thing. That's a bad look. So yeah, a lot of shit going down. A lot of bad shit happening. If you liked that time I got reincarnated as a slime, and thought that it wasn't dark enough, well, you got it. And if you specifically liked it because it was pretty light, this is this is not the best time to watch the show that way. I still think it's great. It's just not necessarily the kind of lighthearted thing that it's gotten dark. Also, the opening and closing theme are still the same from the first one, and that's nonsense. They need to change that because it's just this airy, light song of like, hey, stuff's going on, weird, and it's just like, and cute, and you're like, nah, y'all, it's not weird and cute. It's dark and sad. You need to change that music. The other show I want to talk to you about is Laid Back Camp. Oh, today's Laid Back Camp was so chill and nice. It was so fun. This episode focused on Nadesco going solo camping for the first time. And the place that she's at doesn't allow camp fires, so there's a cooking pavilion, which is kind of new. I don't think we've seen that in the show. As far as I can tell, that's never been a part of the show before, was the idea that you couldn't have a campfire. So that was cool. Um, Nisco plans to try out some new recipes, and there's a family camping nearby, and the young girl is kind of interested in Nadesco as far as like who's this girl camping by herself. Um, and let's see. Turns out that where Nadesco is, she doesn't really get cell service, but people aren't really sure about that. And we did have a thing earlier in the season, a couple episodes ago, where the girls went winter camping in a place they definitely shouldn't have because they didn't have the right gear for it. So Rin gets nervous, and so she goes. She's kind of nearby, so she goes to investigate. Also, Sakura, who is Nadesco's older sister, also gets nervous, and she goes to investigate to see what's going on with her sister. And they bump into each other and both realize Nadesco's fine. She just doesn't have self-service. Everything's okay. I mean, she's a high schooler, so like, come on, like, let her figure this shit out. Uh, and also, Nadesco makes friends with the with the kids that are camping nearby, and they learn the joy of camp cooking because she's like doing a bunch of different experiments with food, and they get to try the stuff that like that worked and didn't, and they basically are like, the next time we go camping, Dad, let's try doing some cooking, uh, which was neat. But yeah, they were just like a fun little, just like another like, hey, here's some characters we may. I would say we might never see them again, but we have run into minor characters from the first season. Minor characters from the first season showed up again this season. So like, if one of the girls that Rin met who were hiking showed up again. So like, who knows? These kids could show up again in another episode, and it would not be super shocking. I am stopping myself from talking about this to remind myself that this piece has to go on here, because if I don't do it, I'll have to undo a bunch of shit like I did last time. So I'm doing this right now, and I didn't fuck up this time, and that rules, y'all. I didn't fuck up. Anyway, I guess Sakura and Rin are gonna, because they don't want Nadesco to see them, so they hide from her once they realize that everything's okay, and then they're gonna go and they're gonna go get food, which is very nice, very cool. Um, this season doesn't feel like, it feels a little listless just because there's not a major event. Like, the major event of the first season, because the first season starts with like basically the last episode, and then how we got there, which is all of them camping together. So that was the big thing they were leading up to. And this season has been like a lot of exploration of the different characters and their relationships with one another, and like, it's been fun, but it doesn't feel like it has the same, like, I don't know. We've been introduced to old characters, and it's just kind of like more from it. It's still good. It just feels like I don't mind. I should say I don't mind when a slice of life is just kind of like, and here's more shit happening in this slice of life world. But I would like an event. I'd like to see an event appear as we get towards the end of the season. It's like something they can be like building up to. I don't know. That would be cool. We'll see. But overall, it's a great show. Again, I did not watch this episode of Anime Capybara-san. I apologize that I did not see the episode. I forgot. I like literally just got busy and then forgot to do it right before the stream started. So I did fuck that up. But I will watch it and let you know for a future thing. And I got these questions. I have a Q&A that I am filming tomorrow for my Patreon, because my Patreon, one of the benefits for every level is you get access to a Q&A and I got 2 questions, and I was doing some prep for that. I'm going to finish doing prep for that tonight. I don't do a lot of prep for it. Generally, I just see who's asked questions. If I've recently answered it, I won't, and I'll just reply to that person with an email and say, like, hey, I already answered this. Here's the gist of it. And then I usually answer 2 or 3 questions per, and then put that out. And it just goes just my Patreon. I don't put it anywhere else. Nobody else gets to see it. It's just for those friends. There's a little something I can do. They're often about model kit things. They're occasionally about my life and streaming and comedy. But yeah, nice little thing. Just a little bonus thing that I can do to say, hey, thanks so much for supporting what I'm doing. And that's about it. I mean, we're gonna keep building. Obviously, we got more time on the stream. I don't have anything planned for tomorrow. Like I said, I'm gonna film a thing tomorrow. But other than that, I really have nothing tomorrow. Film that. Put up this VOD when it's tomorrow for my YouTube. But yeah, I don't have anything going on. I'll have to figure something out. Saturday, I've got to film Pat Bear's Anime Club, the new episode of that. I'm going to record that. I guess maybe I could do it tomorrow. I could do that, or at least I could do prep for that. And then I have my D&D group on Saturday, so that'll be good, because that is a whole lot of fucking fun. So yeah, I got that going. But yeah, what are y'all up to? Anybody got anything good happening this weekend, or is just more days? Catch up on some TV, catch up on some internet stuff, catch up on some anime. If you got something going on, let me the fuck know. I would love to see it, to hear from y'all about what you're up to. As we have like about a half an hour left of the stream, 20 minutes or so, we can chat about what's going on with y'all and stuff that you're excited about. If anybody's doing anything, you got work, you got play, you got responsibilities, you're going to do some yard stuff. I guess I can get out there and do more yard stuff, although I've done a bunch of raking. And actually, it's been enough days without rain that if tomorrow it's late enough in the rain, I might go out and do a little bit of watering. Get a little of that done. Be good to do. Get out there. Make sure that's all taken care of. But yeah. I don't have anything there. Okay. But yeah, let me know if you guys are up to anything. Got any plans this weekend? Obviously, Saturday night, you're all going to be here watching the stream because I'll be model kit building, continuing on this kit, finishing this up, and starting my next kit. So I know you're all going to be there for that. But if you got stuff going on before that, like things that you're doing, just let me know. Let me know what's going on with y'all. Because that's always fun to hear. Do I have anything? Oh, got an email here. Oh, okay. Okay. Lord Crasher says, the Gundam game gave me a free drop and got a Gundam GPO2 MLRS Big Ash shield and shoulders. Cool. Well, that's fun. That's what it's supposed to do, right? It's supposed to give you some cool shit so you start going, oh, I guess I should play, well, if I put money into this, I could get even more cool shit. Or, oh, well, I got this far, I might as well check in tomorrow and see what else I get. Oh, I didn't get it. I'm getting some cool stuff. I'm like, oh, but I don't have enough of this currency to get this thing. And, oh, I could grind for that, or I could just do that. And that's how they get you. I will say, a game I play is a bad one of those. I play a free-to-play game that I have never put a dime into and play it every day. And it is, and maybe eventually I'll get stuck and they'll stop giving out enough stuff and I won't be able to continue until I start putting money into it. But like I said, I've been playing this game for a while, and that is One Piece Bon Bon. It is a match 3 game. Why is it? Oh, I think it's because it's Game Factory Yokohama. Gundam Factory Yokohama is what GFY stands for. Okay. I think it's just letters. I don't know. The exclamation points is why AutoMod is like, what is happening? Oh, I got a tiny sticker to put on here. Y'all, this sticker is very tiny, and I don't want to put it on here towards the end of the stream, but we're going to do it because it's time. This is a very small sticker that has to go on a very small part of this. Gundam Factory Yokohama. Okay. Oh, God, this is a small sticker. Oh, God. Oh, God, that's a small little sticker. It's so tiny. Clear, lavender, tiny sticker. It shows you exactly where it's supposed to go, at least. but I could totally understand not putting this part on. All right, I got it on there. You can maybe see a little bit of red. The problem is going near the thing means that I go above the light. But yeah, that's a very tiny sticker. Just trust me, that was a tiny ass sticker, and I did not like putting that on there. All right, let's get. We got even more stickers. God damn it! Why does this? Look. Actually, I should say. I was about to say, why did this parts have so many stickers? And I can answer that because they are tiny little pieces, and you can't really layer small plastic like this in a high grade. So instead, if you want to do the color detailing, you gotta do. I mean, you can, but it's expensive and tough. Lashburger's just gonna be working. Maybe some Valheim and Apex. Hell yeah. I'll probably watch some more I mean, who knows? We might go. Whoever we raid tonight could be a Valheim streamer. I don't know. I'm like kind of trying to keep an eye on who's out there doing the work and doing the cool streams. But yeah, I haven't really played it, but I've been checking people out, seeing what they're up to with it. All right, so we got some stickers here. This has to go folded over. This. It's going to go like this and then fold over like that. Yeah. You can see, this would be hard to just do like a layer of red that has to be attached to that because it's very thin and small. So I understand why these are stickers, but I do not like it. 1 token for 99 cents, 3 tokens for a drop. You got a gun tank. Okay. I think my plan for the weekend is to mess around with OBS. I keep saying I want to stream some stuff because I have an insane backlog of games. Well, Bobby, you should be able to find some people with some tutorials. I am self-taught as far as how to use OBS. I looked into it. I went with this instead of Stream OBS, which is a fork, and I feel pretty good about that. But yeah, I mean, I just kind of like found some videos that had a lot of views and a lot of thumbs up, and just kind of watched a few people and kind of learned as I went. Even since I started streaming, OBS has gotten better and added some stuff like a test mode. Like basically in your settings, you can hit a thing that will do a stream test, so you can kind of check your settings, and that is without having to edit the information, which you used to have to do. You used to have to go into your stream key and change something to be able to do a test. Now you can just hit a button. It's actually really helpful. But yeah, you should be able to figure that shit out. Shelves put together to hold my figure arts collection. Hell yeah. But yeah, OBS, like, I mean, stream OBS is, is even easier, but I have found it's actually pretty straightforward to get something good out of it and something half decent, as far as for folks that want to stream. It's also kind of fun to just be like, I want to use this software. I'm going to watch a lot of YouTube videos about this and find something that helps me, and then I'm going to try to use the software. Like, I don't know, there's something pretty cool about that. Oh, this is the piece that I accidentally took off earlier. I've got the weekend off, says Lord Crashington, so I'm going to chill and do whatever. Probably play some random stuff. I kind of want to watch the Lord of the Rings trilogy. Okay, I mean, that's an investment, but yeah. That sounds good. Like I said, I got some videos to film tomorrow and Saturday. I might do Pat Bear's Anime Club tomorrow, or at least prep for it, because I got to do my next Pat Bear's Anime Club is going to require, like, I just have to find some photos, then think about what I want to say. But it is another video that, like, the most popular one when I did a poll was to do a video on, like, where to start with Gundam, and the second most popular was a cool idea for a category, or for a video, so I'll be doing that one, because I still think it was a neat idea. And it doesn't require a whole lot of research, because the idea of not a lot of research helps out a ton. I'm between video games looking for my next obsession in a good way, says the first fan. Hell yeah, I totally understand that. Yeah, sometimes you're like, you just need like a push for the next thing you're gonna dedicate some time and effort into. I guess they hit 3 million downloads, so they're giving out free stuff, says Lord Crash. Oh, because you got a Zaku 2 type FS with a cool axe. Hell yeah. I don't mind using OBS. It's more than I want to work with on creating scenes and transitions. Oh, and that sort of stuff. Yeah, you want to work on that stuff? Yeah. Like, I'm slow to get better at that stuff. I just started adding, like, scene transitions that are not just, like, quick cuts to it. Like, almost accidentally. And I was like, oh, I kind of like this. And I've been learning more about it, but I still got a ways to go. To go. All right, so we're gonna keep working on this waist. I don't think we're gonna finish this. We're gonna finish this kit up on Saturday, certainly. Um, uh, but yeah, I understand that. I'm gonna film. Yeah, like I said, I'm gonna film some video stuff. I don't really have anything that I'm like, oh, I definitely want to do this. I'm doing another playthrough because I restart with lots of mods and lots of nonsense Fallout 4 pretty consistently because it is just a game that I enjoy messing around with and playing with mods and trying stuff out. And I recently there's a mod um, where Nora, because so basically, uh, you're a guy, you can either be uh, the dude, Nate, or you can be Nora. Uh, and there is a mod, because spoiler alert to the beginning of a game that from how many years ago, uh, whoever you are, your partner is dead so is murdered. And part of the reason that your things is you're going to find your child who's been kidnapped and avenge your partner's murder. So a thing you can do is a mod is Nora didn't die. She's okay. And then you can just have her as a companion. Uh, and so I'm doing a playthrough where I don't have any companions except her, and it's just me and my wife up against the world, just getting shit done. Uh, and I can't remember if and what I should do, because it would be really messed up, is I should just switch, because you can switch your gender in game in the console commands, and then it'll just be, hey, it's me, Nora, and my wife, Nora, and I'll just do that. I haven't done that yet because I've been enjoying the playthrough, because I don't think it's going to break anything because it's just a mod, and they won't acknowledge it. But I did think that was pretty funny if I just did that. It's just me running around with my twin wife. It'll be pretty terrible, but still funny. All right, this is not coming together the way it should. I don't know why. Oh, let's go like this. And then if that goes in like that, there we go. That's right. I got a Gigan from Mobile Suit Pens, two-wheeled suits with giant cannon on top of its head. Two-wheeled suit. Okay, yeah, I don't know. Lord Crashton, there's a lot of mobile suits out there. I don't know all of them. But I'm glad you're having fun with it. All right, we need B235. But yeah, I don't know. I play a bunch of mods. I like playing with a bunch of companions because I have the unlimited companions thing. So I like playing with a bunch of people. I like having a bunch at once, just running around. I try to get all the companions I like. There's a very funny one that just started, which is there's a companion you meet, and he's annoying, and to get his quest is also annoying, and to get quest rewards. So there is but his perk is really good. So there's a quest now where the character is dead when you show up, like he died before you met him, but you can just go and pick up a thing that basically does his perk, so that way you don't play with McCready. It sucks that McCready sucks so much because it's kind of cool. He is basically a kid from Fallout 3 all grown up. So it's kind of cool that he's in this game, but I think he's just annoying and not a great companion, so I never use him. Like, I've never actually completed his thing, which sucks because it's actually like, of all the companion quests, not of all of them, of many of the companion quests, it is like one of the best ones to do. Because it actually is a thing you have to go and physically do. It always struck me as weird because some of the companion quests, like the ones to unlock like top affinity, are just like Piper's is just like say the right thing and be a supportive friend, which is like okay, and then like Nick's Valentine's is like help me go find this guy and kill him, and you're like okay, sure. Those are very different. And one of them is like, hey, help me find a body. And you're like, okay. And then another, and that's not the one, but you have to do it before you can get to the affinity. And another one says, I need to get off drugs. And you're like, okay. This is wildly different companion stuff. There's over 300 Gundams in this game. That's a lot. Lord Crashington, that is a lot of Gundams. You're not wrong. If I was going to wonder how many Gundams was that, I would say it's a lot of Gundams. All right, so let's just put this part together here. We got to do the side skirt things, which also have the weapons, and that's something we'll get to. Because the side skirts and the backpack, because we still have to do the backpack, which are the wings that also have weapons that hold things, and then we got to build some swords. We got swords, we got knives, we got all kinds of stuff. Is some cool shit. We got a shield to put on, but the nice thing is that our weapons, like all our blades, can go and sit on other stuff, and it's good. Look, it's good. Because we got a big sword here. We got these short daggers. But our side arms, our shoulder-mounted arms, and our skirt-mounted sub-arms can all hold weapons and swords, and that is great. That is a great addition. But yeah, this arm does not want to stay in. It's very frustrating, but we'll put this there. So we're at least mostly body complete. Like I said, we do have to do some adjustments here. We got to build the side skirt things out, and we got to put on the backpack. But that's going to come on Saturday. I actually think it will take all of Saturday to do, but and then we will start working on a new kit. Maybe it won't take all of Saturday to do weapons and a backpack, but we're at least model kit complete here. Body complete. We're not model kit, I should say. And I can put both these claws on, because this thing has cool claws. So we can do that. Yeah, this arm, I might have to put, like, something in there. Kind of, I don't want to put glue or anything, but this just wants to pop out all the time. So I don't know. I don't know if I'm going to maybe put some blue tack in there, make it sticky. But yeah, this arm does not want to stay in. But we're mostly complete on this. We got to finish the weapons up in the backpack. But yeah, feeling pretty good about that kit. I think we might wrap up a little early tonight because I'm kind of out of things to say. And we kind of hit a natural point where, like I said, we got more to do, but we're pretty far in. We got a lot done. We got the arm done. We got the legs and the waist done. So I feel pretty good about that. We are going to raid because that is what we do at the end of every stream here. I think that'll be fun. So let's go and find somebody for us to go raid. And I hope you'll come along with that. And I hope you'll come back on Saturday for my next stream. But yeah, I feel like we'll end a little early tonight. I think that's okay to do that now and again. Because it's kind of hit a natural spot. So let's see. Who is doing cool shit that we want to go check out? Oh, that's spooky stuff. Oh, that's chill stuff. Yeah. Let me go see when my friend has started their stream. Because oh yeah, they started an hour ago. Great. We're gonna go with some fucking chill vibes because TQ is streaming, and TQ is wonderful. And she is doing some voice only, no webcam. Playing some Stardew Valley. And she rules, and we all deserve a nice Thursday night with TQ. Definitely go do that. So feel free to come along on this raid. We're going to go hang out with TQ as she plays some Stardew. And I hope you have a great rest of your evening. Thanks very much for being here. Hope to see you all on Saturday as I finish up this kit and then start a new kit. I'll just tell you, that new kit is a Star Trek kit. I'm building something from Star Trek on Saturday when this is done. So come check that out. Thanks for being here. I hope you have a great evening. Let's go raid. Goodbye, 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 goodbye.